Hello, everyone. This is Donna Weiser Hennes, Executive National Vice President and Independent Consultant, and I'm really happy to be with you today. Actually, today's a very special day. Today is Arbonne's 40th birthday. Today they announced that we are officially a B Corporation, so it's quite a phenomenal day of exciting news for all of us in Arbonne, and I'm really thrilled to be here to support these tragic fires in Australia. It's so nice to see all of us come together as a community to support such an important, an important cause. And I'm going to share with you today a topic that's really near and dear to my heart. I've always been one to believe in the law of attraction. We can manifest what we want to create in our world, in our life. So I do have a PowerPoint. I'm going to share my screen with you and to talk to you a little bit about how to manifest success in your Arbonne business. So for me, it's exciting because I've been part of this amazing company for going on 29 years. And from the very beginning, this was an important part of my growth in Arbonne. So I'm going to share my screen right now. And there we go. Turn this into a better view. Okay, so no, this is not the better view. Let's try a different view. View, slideshow. Here we go. So manifesting success in your Arbonne business, otherwise known as the law of attraction. So let's talk about some of the different, there's several universal laws that I love, and one of them is called the vacuum law of prosperity. And I like this, especially when it comes to our business, because many times, I'm sure you can relate to this, there's people who are part of your team, part of your success line, that you're holding on to, with two hands for dear life, trying to drag them over the finish line. And the reality is, we can't do that. We can't convince someone to success in this business. We can't drag them over the finish line. Or as my good friend, Coach Jerry Rosenthal says, you can't coach the people who are sitting on the bench. And we tend to do that and oftentimes we come from desperation. So this vacuum law of prosperity is a universal law, and it basically says that the universe abhors a vacuum. Nature hates a vacuum. Whenever there's a vacuum, we fill something in. Nature fills something in. So I'll give you an example. Here's a good visual. Imagine that you're walking along the beach, and you're at the edge of the water, and you're digging a really deep hole. And before you know it, the wind comes, the water comes, the air, the sand, and before you know it, that hole is filled up with water and sand. Well, because nature fills in vacuums. Whenever there's an empty space, nature fills it in. So the same thing happens in our life. You want more clothes? Go into your closet and get rid of old clothes. You want a new car? Get rid of your old car. And how does that relate to our business? Well, you want new people in your business. You need to release with love, always with love, the people in your business who are no longer showing up the way you hope they would. And you know what? Maybe they're on the bench for a short time and they might come off the bench. But in the meantime, if you're holding on to somebody with two hands and trying to drag them over the finish line, you don't even have another hand, an open hand, to find a new person to invite to join you. So you need to make room to receive. And what are you holding on to that you should be releasing? Think about that. Who in your business, what in your home, what in your life are you holding on to that you need to release? And then suddenly you'll have more or even better. That happened to me actually, gosh, going on 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I went through a divorce. I let go of an unhealthy, unhappy relationship. And that made room for someone new in my life. And it's actually going to be 10 years this year that I met this handsome man in this picture. My husband, Jeff, I met him on Match.com. But I totally believe it's because of the vacuum law of prosperity. If I stayed in that old relationship, if I stayed in that unhappy marriage, I never would have met him, and my life wouldn't be as amazing as it is today. So that applies to your business as well. What do you have to release to have a new person come into your business? So let's talk about now another important topic, transforming limiting thoughts. Because limiting thoughts will be the kiss of death in our business, actually in life as well. So this is one of my most favorite books. It's the first book that I read when I came to Arbonne. I have it here. Yeah, I have it right here by my desk. And this is funny because this is, if you take a look at this book, I mean, oh my goodness, it's earmarked. I have stickers on. I have two the same book. This was actually the second book that I read when I came into Arbonne, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The first book I read was Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Dr. Susan Jeffers, because I had fear. I was afraid to pick up the phone and call people. But once I finished that book, I was told to read, and I was coachable, this book, Think and Grow Rich, which is such a powerful book. I really think this is the grandfather of every personal development book we have out there. From Napoleon Hill's concepts in here are just phenomenal. So thoughts, which are mixed with any of the feelings of emotions, constitute a magnetic force which attracts other similar or related thoughts. The human mind is constantly attracting vibrations which harmonize with the thoughts that dominate in our mind. So this is so powerful. Think and Grow Rich. So another phenomenal book that I love is a book by Wayne Dyer called Wishes Fulfilled. Talk about manifesting things in your life. Truly phenomenal book, because you can manifest whatever you want in your life as long as you believe that you can. So this is what Wayne says. Manifestation is real, and it occurs when you make a specific decision to change your mind about who you are and what is possible for you to achieve. Many people come into our business and just don't believe that they deserve this amazing gift that Arbonne gives us. So you have to make sure that you change your minds, that you change your self-talk, which I'll talk about in a moment. But you definitely have to make a specific decision. You have to decide. You have to decide that you want to make a change, and then amazing, powerful things happen. This is a book that I was introduced to way before I came into Arbonne. I'm actually, in 2 months, I'm going to be 65 years old. Here in the United States, that's Medicare time. And many, many years ago, when I was in my 20s, I was quite overweight. I was very unhappy. I was quite depressed. And I went to see a therapist who told me about this book called Creative Visualization, Using the Power of Your Imagination to Create What You Want in Your Life. And this book was so powerful because it taught me the power of visualizing and affirmations. Because back in the day, when I was unhappy, I was overweight, I was depressed, I had a hard time seeing myself thin and happy. So this was actually me in the 70s. This is me in the 70s, unhappy and overweight. And this book, Creative Visualization, taught me the power of creating an affirmation. And I used to write down 10 times in the morning and 10 times at night, I, Donna, deserve to be beautiful, thin, and happy, because I felt fat and ugly and depressed. So before I could even write I am, and when you write affirmations, which I'll talk about shortly, you must write an affirmation in the present tense. Back in those days when this was me, I didn't feel worthy of being thin and happy. I felt so unworthy. So my affirmation back in those days was, I, Donna, deserve to be beautiful, thin, and happy. And here I am today, beautiful, thin, and happy. Didn't take 40 years to get there, but it certainly started with this book that taught me the power of visualizing myself thin and visualizing myself happy. I actually used to take pictures. This is kind of an aside. It wasn't in my notes, but I used to take pictures, magazine pictures of women who are thin, and I cut out my face and stick it on it so I could see myself. What would it be like to be thin? Now, here's a book that many of you might know. Dr. Shad Helmstetter, who's a really dear friend of Arbonne, he actually wrote a book just for Arbonne called The Gift. But this is a book that completely changes people's lives because it's all about that self-talk. I had to change that self-talk for me to become someone who felt beautiful, thin, and happy, right? Well, this book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, helps you change your self-talk. Because the challenge is, if you don't believe you are deserving or worthy of success, if that's your self-talk, you'll never create success. And this is a book that, if you haven't read it yourself, I highly recommend that you do. Because when you have someone on your success line, in your team, who you can tell says things like, I can't, it's hard, all those negative words that pop into the conversations, your antenna should pop up when you hear people talk that way. And when anyone starts talking that negative talk, I always have them pick up this book and read What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And here's an important point, though. Someone will say to me, yeah, I did. I read the book. And then I ask the question, well, did you do the assignments? Did you do the work in the book? And sadly, many times they don't. This book gives you assignments so you can create those affirmations to change your self-talk. Because when you change your self-talk, you can change everything about your life, everything about your circumstances. It's really, really powerful. And by the way, what I forgot to tell you about when I showed you the picture of my husband, when I was going through that divorce, and friends of mine said, Are you really going to do that? You know, you're someone, you're in your 50s, and what makes you think you're going to find someone? It's hard to date when you're in your 50s. And I was crystal clear because I knew that if I wanted to meet someone in my life, I could absolutely create an affirmation that would allow me to meet somebody fabulous. And I did have an affirmation that created that basically manifested Jeff into my life. The same way I manifested Jeff into my life, you can manifest leaders into your business. You just have to write down the characteristics of exactly the kind of person you want to attract to your business. Write those down and say it morning and night. Just like I used to say, I am in a relationship with a kind, caring, loving, compassionate, emotionally and financially healthy man. That was my affirmation to attract a man into my life. We do the same thing with our business. As a matter of fact, in this Think and Grow Rich book that I have my old affirmations in here, because the very first time I wrote an affirmation was because I learned them, again, from so many books that I read and Think and Grow Rich. Here's one. Here, this says, it's March 1st, 1994, because I joined Arbonne in 1992. It's March 1st, 1994. I, Donna, am a successful regional vice president with Arbonne, earning $6,000 a month. It's right here in the back of my Think and Grow Rich book, because there's power in affirmations. And what you think about, we bring about. Thank you, Rita Davenport. She always taught us that. Our former president always said, what you think about, you bring about. So let's talk a little bit about our self-concept, because our self-concept is really important, especially as we change our self-concept and we become the person who will attract amazing people to our business. So your concept of yourself is everything that you believe to be true. So powerful. And a belief is a thought that you just keep on thinking. Whatever you keep thinking over and over and over again becomes a belief. So what are you thinking over and over and over again? Are you thinking that it's hard to build this business? Are you thinking that it's hard to earn the MVP challenge trip? Are you thinking that it's hard to earn the next AIT trip? Are you thinking that it's hard to become an RVP by GTC? If you're thinking that, it'll become reality. You have to turn around those thoughts and think and say, I am walking that stage at GTC. I am earning, or I earned the MVP challenge trip. You have to talk the talk before it becomes a reality. Really powerful. Another universal law is the law of vibration. This is amazing. This is really powerful. Everything is made up of energy. Every single thing in the world. We as humans are a book, this desk, our telephone, everything is made up of energy, okay? So what does that mean? Well, we vibrate at a certain level, and when we vibrate at a higher level, we attract better and positive and greater things into our life. I learned that from this book, Ask and It Is Given, talking about manifesting again, learning to manifest your desires. This was the #1 New York best-selling book, Ask and It Is Given, by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Now, this is based on the teachings of Abraham. Now, I have been following Abraham for probably 25 years. Now, for people who aren't familiar with the teachings of Abraham, and by the way, my favorite author, may he rest in peace, Wayne Dyer, does a foreword in this book. So when people that I meet who haven't been introduced to Abraham, the concept of Abraham, what I usually have them do is I have them go to YouTube and then type in YouTube Esther Hicks and Oprah Winfrey, because everyone believes what Oprah says. Oprah is such an influencer, isn't she? So when you Google, or you put in YouTube or Google Esther Hicks and Oprah Winfrey, you'll find this interview. This is there's a half-hour interview when Oprah is interviewing Esther, and then there's a half-an-hour interview following where Oprah is interviewing Abraham. I'm not going to say anything further. All I'm going to say, if you're not familiar with Abraham, with the teachings of Abraham, go to Esther Hicks and Oprah Winfrey, and you'll learn about this really fascinating, I don't know how to say it, the fascinating concept of the law of vibration, how to attract into your life. So that's just a really great way for you to be introduced to Abraham if you haven't been introduced to Abraham. So next concept when it comes to vibration, the way we raise our vibration. Now let me step back for a moment. Why is it important to raise our vibration? Well, here's the deal. We are in the business of attracting people to join us, right? If this business looks hard, if it looks challenging, if we're not happy about it, no one's going to want to join us, right? So we have to vibrate at a level where people are excited to be around us. People don't join Arbonne, people join us. They join us because they're attracted to who we are as people. And if you don't raise your vibration to a higher level, if you're vibrating kind of like in an, oh, it's okay, I'm okay today, I'm fine. If that's your level of vibration, you're not going to attract anybody to you. Because the reality is, people do not knock on your door and say, hey, I hear you sell Arbonne, or I hear you're looking for Arbonne partners. Can I join your team? That doesn't happen. We need to get out there and have people be attracted to us. And how do we do that? We raise our level of vibration and we choose joy. Start your day first thing in the morning by choosing joy. I meditate every morning so that I can raise my vibration. What can you do to raise your vibration to choose joy? All I have to do to raise my vibration is look at my granddaughter. This is my beautiful granddaughter, Stella. Boy, my vibration is raised the minute I look at a picture of her, the minute I FaceTime with her, the minute I sit with her, see her. My vibration is at the top of the charts. So when I look at a picture of Stella, and then I pick up the phone and call a prospect, it's a much better chance for me to close that prospect, sell them a kit, have them join my business when I'm vibrating up here, not when I'm feeling down and feeling like, oh, my numbers are low, or when I go to Facebook and I compare myself to other people. That does not raise my vibration. So do not go down that Facebook trail and like compare yourself to everybody else, because all you see on Facebook is the highlight reel of everybody's happy life. You do not see when people have challenges. So I'm Dee Dee, here's Stella. Hopefully that's raising your vibration right this minute by looking at my gorgeous little granddaughter, because she is just a peach. Let's see what's next here. Okay, let's talk about our conscious mind versus our subconscious mind, because all these books, Think and Grow Rich, the Law of Wayne Dyer's book, every single book we read out there talks about our conscious mind versus our subconscious mind. And here's the deal. Our subconscious mind is 10% versus our subconscious mind is 90%. Now look what lives in the subconscious mind, because the conscious mind is only willpower, long-term memory, critical thinking, logical thinking. That's not, we don't want to live there. We want to live in the subconscious mind, where beliefs and emotions and habits and values and long-term memory, imagination, intuition, that's all in the subconscious mind. That's where we need to live, where we can change our thoughts and really change the way we look at the world and change our business by the power of the subconscious mind. So powerful. So here's how it works. We have to visualize the success you want to achieve. That's the first step. Visualize the success you want. So important. So how do we visualize? You just close your eyes and see what you want to create, right? Do you have a vision board? I have a vision board right in the area where I do my meditation. Everything on that vision board is what I want to create. You must visualize the success you want before you have it. This is such a cool, I really love this story. This is, the reality is that when we talk about visualizations and mindset, the reality is that it's science. It's not magic, it's science. They have done studies where they've actually put electrodes on skiers. When they're not skiing, when they're just closing their eyes and visualizing themselves skiing. And those same neurons are firing when they're visualizing themselves skiing as when they're skiing. That's why visualization is so important. So you need to wake up in the morning as part of your morning routine, your miracle morning, and see what you want to create that day. See what you want to create that month. It's so darn powerful. I have a diver here because there's another great story. There was an Olympic diver. I don't have her name. I don't have my notes in front of me. This is just off the top of my head. But there's an Olympic diver who was going to go for the Olympic trials. I think it was back in 1994. I'm not sure. She was going to go for the Olympic trials, and she had an accident, and she had injury to her foot, and she could not. That whole several months up to the Olympic trials, she couldn't dive. So what did her coach tell her to do? He told her, no worries, I know you can't physically dive, but I want you to go into your mind, close your eyes, and see yourself every day walking up to the diving board, walking up the ladder, going to the platform, doing that perfect dive. I want you to see it every single day. And she did that. Every single day she practiced in her mind. And you know what? Just before the Olympic trial, she was able to go to the Olympic trials. She actually was the second woman to win an Olympic medal that year because she visualized herself winning that medal. She did it all in her mind. Athletes do it all the time. They visualize themselves before it happens. So you need to do the same thing. Visualize yourself. If you're going to walk into a presentation, if you're going to a one-on-one, going for a coffee appointment, take a minute in your car and see yourself walking in with a smile on your face, shaking hands with that person, handing them the gold bag, handing them a fit kit. See yourself signing them up as a consultant. See it first in your mind's eye. There's so much power in visualizing what you want to create. And it's not magic, it's science. It truly is science. You want to have a specific vision? We just talked about that. What is your vision for the future? What's the vision for the future of your life? Where do you want to be a year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now? Where do you want to be 5 years from now? Have a vision. It's so powerful. Arbonne has a vision for us. Be a corporation. That was part of the vision. They've been working on that since Jean David and Groupe Rocher came on board. This has been a vision for them. Listen, when we had the challenges with Arbonne, if you haven't been around for a while, and there were people that walked away from Arbonne during some of the challenging times. My upline, Sandra Tillinghast, and we never doubted that Arbonne was a blessed company. And our former president, Rita Davenport, always said that Arbonne is a blessed company. We always knew that there was something beautiful coming for Arbonne, that was going to turn us into $1 billion plus company. We didn't know it was going to be Groupe Rocher then, but we had the belief. We believed that something amazing was going to happen for the future, and it's happened. It's here now. Groupe Rocher is completely changing our business. The vision for this company over the next several years is incredible. And if you are not riding that wave, then shame on you. If you're a new consultant, then you need to be a VP by the end of this year. VPs need to be MVPs. You need to be riding this wave, because in the next 18 months to 2 years, this wave is starting. We want to be part of that wave, because the vision that Arbonne had for us before, that Groupe Rocher has for us now, is going to be unbelievable. What's going to happen over this next year is going to knock your socks off. I'm privy to that because I'm a national vice president, and I'm telling you, you do not want to be sitting on the sidelines watching. You want to be on the field playing with all of us. So your goals are important. You want to write down your goals. This is a great book if you haven't read it, Goals by Brian Tracy, How to Get Everything You Want Faster Than It's Ever Thought Possible. Fabulous book. Write down your goals, write down your awesome goal, your great goal, and your good goal. Really powerful, because when you write it down, there's so much power in putting the pen to paper. I talked about affirmations enough already. They absolutely can change your life. They changed my life many, many times. They can change your life. Just make sure you write them down in the present tense. Here's just one tip I'll give you. You don't write down I will be. You write down I am. I am, not I will be. If you say I will be an MVP, I will be an RVP, I will earn the AIT trip, the universe is giving you permission to wait. When you say I am, you're directing the universe to what you want to create. I just talked about earlier that I meditate every morning. Meditation is really important because it helps you calm your mind, calm your body, see what you want to create. It's a great way to raise your vibration the very first thing in the morning. Just take 10 minutes. It doesn't take a long time. There's some great apps out there. There's Insight Timer. You can just YouTube meditation, and you can find a free meditation. And then positive self-talk. We already talked about what to say when you talk to yourself. Don't be a victim of negative self-talk. And make sure that you have your antenna on, again, when you're working with your team. When you hear people talking negatively, it's up to you to guide them in a more positive direction, because that's what leaders do. So behave as though your dream has already been fulfilled. How would an MVP act? How would an RVP act if you're not there already? Do the things that they would do. Act as if before it happens, and powerful, amazing things will happen. So here's an assignment I want to give you before I say goodbye. I want you to write down your top 5 goals. Write down 3 for Arbonne and 2 personal goals, okay? Because we always want to have balance in our life, right? And then what's most important? I'm sorry, this is what's most important. What you're going to do differently to achieve these goals, because there's a good chance that many of you have had these goals before, but the only way you're going to achieve these goals is to make a shift in your thinking, make a shift in your activity. I'm actually reading Miracle Equation right now, and you have to have that unwavering faith, and that unwavering faith, and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the other one. Unwavering faith and extraordinary effort. Extraordinary effort. Those are the 2 things that we have to do to have success. But you have to do something different than you've done in the past. And we always say as MVPs, if you want what we have, you have to do what we did. And I'm going to leave you with one last thing, because this is on my computer. This note is always in front of me. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and share this with you right now. If it's important, you'll find a way. And if not, you'll find an excuse. So I hope you'll find a way. I hope you have incredible success this year. And I wish you the very best in your Arbonne endeavors. Bye, everyone.